Yeah, for the past couple of weeks, the financial services industry has had its say. Now it's time to hear from the critics. And in this report, they are not holding back. The FDIC won't publish its list of troubled banks, but other organizations comb through federal data and publish their own. The banking industry doesn't like that, saying average Americans may be unduly frightened.
These are incredibly simplistic and misleading ratios. The great majority of banks who have had such ratios come through it with no problem whatsoever. And frankly, we do think it's irresponsible to be circulating these lists with names on them as though they really mean something.
These are the people whose irresponsibility got us into this mess.
Consumer activist Harvey Rosenfield is passionate about this. He says turnabout is fair play.
A decade of speculation by these Wall Street financiers, and all of a sudden they don't want us speculating about which bank might go under.
San Francisco-based Consumer Action says this is an indication that the relationship between many financial institutions and their customers has become strained.
They often think consumers aren't really capable of dealing with the information they need. It's a very contemptuous and arrogant attitude that unfortunately a lot of financial institutions have taken toward their customers.
This is a mental recession.
Which takes us to former Senator Phil Gramm, now vice chair of giant foreign bank UBS. He told the Washington Times he has little sympathy for those concerned with our economy.
You just hear this constant whining, complaining, and we've sort of become a nation of whiners.
Cable and late-night television hosts tagged Graham as clueless. Consumer activists see something more sinister.
When a guy like Phil Gramm says we're a nation of whiners, it says a lot about him, but it's also a real window. People like him think about those of us who are basically footing his bill.
Here again, Consumer Action's Joe Ryda.
The way that financial institutions treat their own customers is often as though it's a holiday dinner and you're forced to sit at the kiddie table because you're not really worthy of participating in adult discussions which are going on with banks and their partners.
And while we're on the subject of finance, just hours ago, Consumer Action released its annual credit card survey. Now, we're going to have an extended or expanded report on this tomorrow at 5, but if you want a sneak peek, you can read the report by going to abc7news.com. If you need a good deal on a credit card, you need to check that out and our report tomorrow.
Boy, that's some point-blank tough talk.
Ooh, boy, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Sure.
Well,